What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video, and you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. I'm sure you can probably tell where I'm going with this. I just cannot believe these players are continuously making the same mistake. Before we get into it, you guys know the drill around here. Mott's applesauce, if you're hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be. Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfying you need to satisfy. You have the Caveman guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. Let's get into it. So as you probably saw, Justin Fields played in his first preseason game, and he did pretty damn well against the Miami Dolphins. And after that game, after the preseason game, mind you, let me emphasize, after his preseason debut, he decided to, take the liberty upon himself in his post-game interview to say, the game felt slow to me. It felt slow. And I quote, it, being the game speed, was actually slow to me. I mean, for a second, just please, Justin, you really got to think things through, man. When you're on this kind of national stage, you really have to think things through. Yeah, it probably was slow. Maybe because you were a first-round pick, and also maybe because you were playing in a preseason game against a bunch of third and maybe even fourth stringers that probably won't even make the Miami Dolphins roster. So yeah, you would think that maybe the game just felt a little bit slower when all those starters came out after you had like 2 fumbles and you really struggled at the beginning when all the starters were playing, and now all of a sudden all the backups came in and you started to ball out. Yeah, maybe that's why the game felt a little slow. Just a theory. Like, buddy, you cannot be serious. I don't understand these guys. They literally, they're coming from college. They're coming out of college. They're quarterbacking these top offenses in college. They're pretty smart people. They just apparently have no common sense. And this is not the first quarterback to do that. I'll get to that in a second. But I just cannot believe. Well, I can't believe what I heard. It just makes it even worse. Maybe it was one thing if he just completely shredded the entire game. But like I mentioned, he struggled at the start. He did not play too well at the beginning of the game when the starters for Miami were in. He sucked, right? Like, just to put it flat out, he sucked. And then once all the other backups came in, he started to pick it up a little bit. And then he really started to ball out. Don't get me wrong. I think Justin Fields is going to have a fantastic future. I think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. But this is just, it's just boneheaded. There is no positive. There is no end game to saying a statement like this. It's a complete lose-lose for Justin Fields. Like, you're setting yourself up to be laughed at. And for crying out loud, did Justin Fields not see what Tua Tagovailoa did last season? Did he not learn his lesson from being careful in post-game interviews? Apparently, he did not even see what Tua did because he went out and did the same damn thing. I'm sure I don't have to rehash it for you because I'm sure you remember when Tua Tagovailoa took over for Ryan Fitzpatrick after the bye week, undeservingly, I will add, and the Miami Dolphins did win the next 3 games. So Tua started off 3-0 in his NFL starts, and after his 3rd consecutive win in the NFL, he decided afterward to say, I expected it to be harder. And I quote, I expected it, which was the transition from college to the NFL, to be harder. That's literally what he said, word for word. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're setting yourself up to put a target on your back so everybody wants to kill you and show you that it's not that easy, buddy. You're just a rookie. You're getting carried by your special teams and your defense. You're gonna learn real quick. It's like, where's your self-awareness? Didn't he look himself in the mirror after that game and realize that he did about 5% of the work in those games to win? Like, his defense and special teams carried his ass in all 3 of those games, if you don't remember. Tua averaged 170 yards passing in those 3 games. 170 yards. Wow. He's just killing it out there, guys. Tua Tagovailoa expected it to be harder. He's out here throwing 400 yards. Oh, wait, no, he's not. He's out here throwing for 170 a game. What are you thinking? It's really not that hard to be smart. It's not that hard to be humble. It's not that hard to take time in your post-game interview to say, yeah, I thought I played all right, but I want to say that my defense and my special teams really set me up in some good positions to be successful. I want to give a shout out to my team. They did their jobs, and it really helped make my job easier. He could have easily said that, but instead, Tua took the liberty to say, I expected it to be harder. Like, seriously, dude? Maybe because you had it easy because your defense and special teams went out there and played extremely well. But that's not what he said. He said he just thought it was easy because he went out there and just threw for 450 yards and 5 touchdowns a game because he's just that damn good. I mentioned after those 3 starts and after he made that comment in his 3rd consecutive win, they played against the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos were kind of bad last year, I'm sure you remember, and the Dolphins lost. Why? Because Tua Tagovailoa in 3.5 quarters threw for 83 yards and got sacked 6 times. He got humbled. He got humbled freaking quick. You know how quick? A week later after that comment came out. That's how quick he got humbled. What is it with these young kids that want to take the post-game interviews and just run with them and make it seem like they're on top of the world? field. Like, I get it. It's a great feeling to go and win in the NFL for the first time. I'm sure it's just a fantastic feeling that I'll never know, but I don't have to know it to realize that I'm not a moron when it comes to a microphone being in my face for a million people to hear. It's not that hard. It just puts you in a position to be ultimately laughed at and clowned horribly, and it puts a target on your back. More importantly, it just puts a target on your back for other players on other teams when you play against them to really want to go out there and kill you. Granted, I do think Justin Fields is going to be 79 times the quarterback that Tua Tagovailoa will ever be, so I guess I give him credit there. I mean, I think he's going to be extremely good, whereas for Tua, I don't think there's a single redeeming trait about him. So I guess there's a difference there, but at the end of the day, two young kids making two stupid comments that are ultimately going to backfire, and it's not going to feel good for him. But just to make matters even worse, I'm not sure what they're putting in the water over in Chicago for their quarterbacks to drink, but Andy Dalton also decided to make an extremely moronic comment today. You know what he said?
Like I've said before, Justin's going to have his time, and Justin's going to have a great career. But right now, it's my time.
He said, but it's still my time. Like, Andy. Oh, Andy. This might be worse than both of those other comments, honestly. Like, the more I think about it. Like, Mr. Andy Dalton, Mr. Dalton, please check yourself. Talk about a lack of self-awareness. I really like all three of these guys. They're fantastic human beings, I'm sure. And I really like Andy Dalton specifically. I think he's a great guy, but it's just, man, there's a difference between confidence and just being self-aware. You can be confident and not say stupid shit at the same time and be self-aware. Like, there's a mixture of the three, and this just, this screams just not having that self-awareness. This is going to backfire. This is going to backfire so fast. In 2020, Mr. Andy Dalton couldn't move the ball with that stacked Dallas Cowboys offense. What makes anybody and their mother think, or what makes Andy Dalton think that he's going to do any better in the Chicago Bears offense that is extremely lackluster in comparison to the Dallas Cowboys offense? How is he going to do any better in Chicago? I mean, this is just, it's blasphemy. What are these quarterbacks thinking right now? Like I said, I really like the confidence from these guys, but it's just, check yourself, man. Think before you speak. When you're on such a national platform like this, you really have to watch what you say, man. You really have to watch your back, because if you say something wrong, you're going to get chewed out by millions of people for it. And these three guys, it's all going to happen to all three of them. It already happened to Tua. It's going to happen to Justin Fields. And as soon as Mr. Andy Dalton gets benched in like week 4 or something, this quote's going to go viral. I'm telling you. Like I said, they're all good dudes, but I just don't think they're really thinking before they speak. And you would think, being at that point in their career, they've been on national television for a very long time now, in college, in the NFL, whatever it might be. You would think they would probably know what and what not to say and how not to set yourself up for failure, but I guess not. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I felt passionate enough to talk about it because it was just so freaking stupid. I'll be back with the content later in the week. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you did, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I would appreciate that. If you want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I would appreciate that as well. I'm a part of the Built-in Buffalo content creation team. If you enjoy Buffalo Bills content, be sure to follow and subscribe to us on any social medias that you might have, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.